What's up, y'all? Welcome back to our channel. My name is Tracy Moore, and today I'm doing a first day of school phase tutorial, and I'm also going to give you some back to school advice. And this is advice that your mom's not going to tell you, your dad's not going to tell you, your auntie's not going to tell you. This is the stuff that I really want to tell you girl to girl based on my experiences, because I'm all done school. As I'm doing this tutorial, I'm going to be telling you stories, giving you advice, and I really hope that it helps somebody. So let me know what you think, and yeah, let's get into it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with MAC Strobe Cream. My first lesson that I'm going to talk to you guys about is lesson number 1, which is focus on what you think is cool. Okay, so you guys are individuals, right? So you have your own likes, your own dislikes, the things you're really into that the majority of people might not really be into. I don't care if that is like comic books or scrapbooking, or maybe you like to build things, and I don't know, maybe you're really into making beats for music and stuff like that. If you're in high school especially, I encourage you to go after those things and don't really care about what other people are saying is cool or what you should be doing, because I made that mistake. Like, I made a huge mistake with that when I was in high school. So I'll tell you guys a story. When I was in high school, my parents had put me into piano. Well, they put me into piano when I was like 8 years old. I did really well with it. I wasn't like a genius with it, but it really turned out to be something that I was actually good at. Fast forward to high school now, and there's nobody who really plays piano. Like, nobody really cares for that stuff. So I joined band, and I don't know if this is, you know, the same for you, but band is like social suicide. Like, I just love music, right? So I just joined the band, and then my friends were like, why are you in that? Like, you look like a loser. Like, people were really, really... By the way, I know that this is too light for me. It's my winter color, but I don't have a summer color foundation, but I'm gonna fix that by contouring. Like, people are like, Tracy, what are you doing? Like, what are you actually doing with your life? I kind of listened to what everybody else said. I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this music thing anymore because people are making fun of me. You know, people say I look like a loser, and I just started school, keep in mind. So then, like, I don't want to be a loser in grade 9 and grade 10. But then as time went on, it was kind of like I started to hate it more and more. I was like, why am I doing this thing? I would stop going to band practice. I would skip my band practice. Like, I wouldn't like show up as much as I used to, because I really felt like this isn't cool. Like, I'm in grade 9, grade 10, I'm trying to make a name for myself. I'm trying to like figure out who I am, and I don't want to be a loser. So I kind of just fell off of that. And at the same time, my piano teacher, who was so amazing, she had to go off to university. So basically my parents gave me a decision, like, you know, you can continue doing piano with a different teacher, or like, you know, you make the decision, like who's your next piano teacher kind of thing. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to do piano anymore. I was like, I don't want to play anymore. I don't want to go any more forward with this. So I quit piano. And mind you, I was in like the 5th grade of the Royal Conservatory of Music of Canada. I was doing pretty well for myself. Like, by now I would have been like a master pianist if I had keep going. That was like the stupidest thing I ever could have done. So at the same time, I was really good at writing as well. Like, my English teacher would read my writing in class, and he would be like, wow, like, you need to stand up and read your work in front of the class. And I was like, no, like, again, that would make me look like a loser, so I'm not trying to do that. And he would get me to try to write for like different publications, or like get my work published somehow, and I was like, nah, like, I'm not about it. I was so afraid of what people would think of me. So I was like, no, I don't want people to see my writing. You know, being a writer is like stupid. Like, people would think I'm gonna be double a loser. And then at the same time, like, I was in drama class, and my drama teacher was like, you're really good at acting. And I was like, oh, okay. And she's like, I want you to be in the school play. And I was like, what? Okay, keep in mind, when you are in the school play, pretty much you have to you know, do the play in front of the whole school, like everybody, like you have to, and she wanted to be a main part, and I was like, no. Again, this is something I'm talented at, and I'm ignoring all of my talent. I was basically like to everyone, stop trying to make me an artist. Like everyone's trying to make me like do all these things, like perform in front of people. I don't think like those things are promising. I just like don't think that they're cool, so I'm just going to pass up every opportunity that comes to me, and that's pretty much what I did. And that's pretty much what happens when you're an individual and you want to be like everyone else. Like I feel like I wanted to be like everyone else so bad, and that's like the theme of my life, wanting to be like everybody else, when really I'm not like everybody else, and it's time to like just own that and accept that. But I couldn't do that when I was like 16, 15 years old. So at the same time that my English teacher was trying to get me into school play, there were cheerleading tryouts. And mind you, my school hasn't had cheerleading tryouts in like years, because apparently like the old cheerleaders, they were like really mean girls, so they cut out cheerleading. But our school was like, yeah, let's give it another try. So I was like, oh my gosh, cheerleading? I was like, yes, this is my chance to be cool. This is my chance to like actually do something that like, you know, the girls in the movies do, which was a huge mistake. We did cheerleading tryouts, and I don't know how, but I ended up making the team. So I make the cheerleading team, and I quit everything. Like I quit like everything that, you know, people were trying to get me into. So I just focused on cheerleading, and I told my English teacher like, no, there's no way I'm gonna be in the school play, because now I'm a cheerleader. And she was like, oh, okay, like who's this person who I'm seeing in front of me? And I don't know, I guess it was changing, and not in a good way. I don't know about you guys, but I guess if you guys are from the States, like cheerleaders are a big thing. But in Canada, like nobody's a cheerleader, like no one's a cheerleader. We don't have cheerleading squads. It's just like something that we do that's kind of like American, but this is like the first cheerleading squad I've ever heard of in Canada now. So I go to like every cheerleading practice, you know, like I'm ready to be like Gabrielle Union, bring it on. And little did I know that our school was not feeling the cheerleading squad. Like they did not want a cheerleading squad at all. They just really felt it was unnecessary, very mean girls, and like nobody in Canada does that, so why are we doing it? Every time we went to games, we would literally get booed. Like people would boo so hard, like they just didn't want us there at all, and it was so embarrassing, guys. It was embarrassing. Like I remember one time we went to a football game. There's this guy that I liked on the team, and we were cheering for them, and we had like the stupidest cheers ever. Like they were like your average, like there's nothing special about them. So we would be cheering for them, and then the guys literally, when they were done, because they lost their game, they like came up to us and they're like, shut up. So at that point when the guys told us to shut up, I was like, honestly, what am I doing here? It's not like I love cheerleading or anything. At the end of the day, it wasn't as cool as I thought it was gonna be. But at that point, I kind of realized that I was just like following the pack, and I was just kind of like doing what everyone else thought was cool, and at the end of the day, it wasn't cool, so the joke was on me the entire time. During all that time, I could have been working on things that were really gonna make me better, that I was going to excel at, because they were my strengths. So my advice to you is never give up on the things that make you special. Never give up on the things in school that really make you shine. God gave you your special gifts for a reason, and sometimes they're really unique, and the more unique it is, the less competition you're gonna have, and the more you could thrive in whatever that is. And I wish I knew that like earlier on. I could have been like a writer or a pianist, I hate that word. I could have been an actress, like who knows where I could have gone if I had stuck to the things that I wanted to do. I just thought of something. If you're like 18 years old, if you're like getting to grade 11 or 12 and you're trying to figure out what it is you want to do, even if you're in university and you want to figure out like what it is you really want to do in life, don't worry about having it all figured out that early. Like I really feel like that is so early to figure out what it is you're gonna want to do for the rest of your life. When I was, you know, 17, 18, 19, I didn't know YouTube was gonna be big, was gonna be around, like, and here I am, like a few years later, and I'm on YouTube and I love YouTube. So how are you supposed to know that when you're you know, 18, 19 years old. I don't know, like you just never know what's gonna come up. You never know what it is that's really you're gonna wanna do for hours on end, right? But one thing is, you're gonna have a hint as to what that is. So for me, there was one thing that was in common with acting, writing, and piano. It was that I was a creator. I love to create. And if you know you're special, and everyone should know that they're special, if you know you're special, don't try to be dissuaded that you are normal or like everybody else. You're not. Everybody has something that's inside of them that somebody else doesn't have. Don't try to be part of the crowd. When everybody goes right, you go left. I'm just tired of students going into school and just doing the same thing that everybody else is doing. And I feel like a lot of students, especially our young people, have so much inside of them, so much creative energy, and it just might be silenced because society. Don't let society silence you. I'm just so passionate about this. I'm just so passionate about people finding themselves. Okay, y'all. So the moral of the story is, don't let people try to tell you you're a loser or you're weird for the things you're good at or the things that you actually want to do deep inside. Don't follow society. Don't follow the pack. If what you're doing that you want to be doing is not considered cool, you're going to be the special one. You're going to be the one in your own lane. Think to yourself, what is it that I am really good at? What am I passionate about? What is that thing that makes me offbeat? How can you leverage that and strengthen that to become the person that you were meant to be? What is the change you want to see in the world? And be that change. You can be that change. What do you want to create? School and work is not all there is to life. There is so much more inside of you, and I want to encourage you to really dig deep inside and really figure that out. Our parents and our grandparents, they are part of a different generation. We're part of a new digital amazing world where we can create and they do a whole bunch of things and show people what's inside of us, and millions of people across the world can see that. I think kind of maybe the careers that are out there nowadays, that's not all that you can do. You can create other things. I've been talking a lot. Let me know what you think, what grade you're going into, what you're going through, what your mindset is going back into school. I will comment below and give you the best advice that I can give. Be well, and I'll see you next week. Bye.